What's up guys, your friend and neighbor Demon here bringing a new video, and today we're going to be looking at Natus Vincere. They just won Blast Global Finals, hot off the press. That's what they just won last weekend. We got CS Summit going on now. At the moment, OG Dignitas fighting it out. Unfortunately, that's a rough one, man. That's a rough one. OG were 11-4 up, and they didn't win one CT side on Inferno. Anyway, but we're gonna looking at the final. We're gonna be looking at Astralis versus Na'Vi here, and we're gonna be looking at Nuke. And Na'Vi just were absolutely bonkers towards the end of this tournament. Simple. The last two matches against the two best teams in the world, he just went and popped off. Look, 1.57 rating against arguably the best team ever in Counter-Strike is just unbelievable. Pretty crazy. We're not going to be looking at Simple specifically. We're going to be looking at how Na'Vi has been playing Nuke as a team. Obviously, Simple did top the scoreboards and stuff. We're going to be looking at their T side because I think that's more interesting in terms of Nuke, because historically and typically Nuke is a CT-sided map. It's very hard to, if you're uncoordinated and you're not playing as a team, you get punished quite easily. But it's a very interesting map in terms of the rotations and the timings and stuff like that. So it's really interesting, some of the things that the Na'Vi do. They didn't have a stonking first half on the T side, but they won the half, which is impressive against a team that went, what was it, 19-0 on LAN in 2018, 19? No, I can't even remember. 2019 maybe. I can't remember. But Astralis used to be absolutely dominant on this map, so winning the half on the T side is incredibly impressive. Obviously, they Simple is a beast on the CT side as well, with his rotations and whatnot, and how he reads the game. So he's done incredibly good this match. What was Nuke T side? So yeah, he popped off in the T side as well. He was carrying them through. I wouldn't say carrying him through, because there's a lot of Electronic had a bad one, but he clearly didn't need to do anything to win the half. But they had an incredibly good side. So let's take a look at it. Okay, we've got Have Fun is called, and the T-side pistol's nearly underway for Na'Vi. They've actually taken a leaf out of my strat book, if you ask me. They've been watching my demos and taking some ideas. But let's take a look and see what they do. So we've got Boomich, Electronic, and Simple all making their way towards the roof just here. And then we have Flamey just here, showing some presence in lobby, as well as Perfecto showing some presence onto the ramp just here. Simple, his lineup's been util. This is going to land a Molotov on the back site. In the meantime, Boomich and Electronic are dropping towards main. They take Magis by surprise and Dupree. There's two bodies down. The A site completely lost for Astralis. That fast top main play completely takes Astralis by surprise. And I believe that it's already a safe situation for Astralis just here. Glaive running away, he's already low, 5v3. This retake is not going to happen. So that was a really fast pistol round, a really fast win. It was basically done within the first 25 seconds of the round. But yeah, this pistol strat going fast main on top silo fast main is actually incredibly strong. Even in pugs, it can fall apart sometimes, but Na'Vi have done a better job than I have done in terms of coordination and utility. Let's take a bit more of a closer look. So once Boomich has these two opening frags, we can see that they were basically the only two A defenders, both towards main. Dupree was holding this line, sort of looking across the site, and Magisk was actually holding outside. I don't understand quite how Magisk didn't hear them drop main. Maybe there was other noises that distracted him, or he just wasn't focusing at all. Device he's also holding outside, but we've got two players playing the ramp, which is not necessarily a common thing to do. Maybe it was a read from Astralis, because Na'Vi have done pistols onto the ramp previously. Because of the two playing ramp, that leaves the A site very weak. Maybe this is a read from Na'Vi on Na'Vi's part, where they knew that they played two ramp and the A site was vulnerable. Generally, you want to play 3 towards the A site and 1 outside, 1 towards the ramp, and that's more of a classic setup. The guy in main will help the outside guy, and then we got someone heaven maybe or backside watching the hut push, and then another guy on top of hut or back vent watching the squeaky push just here. But because both the players here were watching, or Magisk was helping outside, and unfortunately, he was looking in the wrong direction, wasn't worrying too much about top main. It was a nice timing from Boomich and Electronic to drop down here. But because of that, you can see that Na'Vi completely flood the site. Perfecto, he just runs out, nothing to worry about. Even runs into their own Molotov for good measure, and that's at that point it is just round over. Dave gets squished just here, and he runs away, and then that's when the save ensues. So. And again, this can work in pugs. It's my pistol strap basically, where you just go top main fast, but with a bit of extra util backside to try and make the CT side uncomfortable. But no one was even there to take it on the side of Astralis. They had 2 main. They both fell very fast, and that was the A site crumbled, and the round was done. Okay, so skipping on to round 4, so there's some interesting plays and rotations that happened off the back of this round. The initial plans for Na'Vi don't actually pan out, but let's have a look at see what happens. So we've got Boomich here going towards the squeaky door, throwing the util, blowing the door, pretty standard stuff, and throwing that molly in main, denying Glaive the look in, and we have Magisk on top of the hut just there holding this squeaky push. We have Electronic and Simple both lining up some Molotovs onto the site, and Execute is going to come in. In the meantime, Boomish is actually going to get flashed into Squeaky and finds that opening frag. Continues his push, but actually gets traded out. Flamey also pushing in. Glaive takes him down as well, and I believe Perfecto falls as well. Worst observer in the game. And then what's interesting is Simple's already decided that this is not going to work out after a couple of his teammates dropped, and he's taken the liberty of taking towards ramp on the rotations that Astralis are going to be really worried about the A site Execute coming in, and they've left ramp open. And this is when Device comes in and he doesn't clear it properly. Interestingly enough, Glaive was also peeking towards Hell, but he decided to turn back, leaving Device on his own. And luckily for Simple, this means he can Execute Device and they can take towards the lower side. Both him and Electronic still up, and they have the B site all to themselves. Simple plants the bomb, Bobsky down the vent, and Glaive unfortunately misses that shot. Not really known for AWPing, gets taken out, and then it's just Bobsky left on his own. Fumbles some nades. I believe that Electronic takes him out as well just here. This is the kind of round that makes Nuke so interesting in my point of view. First of all, Na'Vi, especially Simple, I'm not sure if it was his call or Boomich's call to call it off and Simple to reroute to ramp, but the initial execute didn't pan out, and it's a great mid-round call to go towards this ramp, which is completely open now. Maybe it was a call because they knew Bubsky is the usual ramp player, and he may have found a frag or two on the actual A site, which is well done by him. And that was the call that meant Simple to rotate into this ramp area. Again, it's what makes Nuke so interesting. These rotations and openings that you can find from these timings and potential fakes or executes is so cool. And there's so many options. Obviously, there's the vent down here. There's secret to get downstairs. You can wrap towards outside. There's the ramp area where you can go towards A or you can go towards B. And Simple takes advantage of this and the information that he has and the lack of manpower that Astralis actually have in this case. So they know that there's a couple of people on the A site, so there's going to be some sort of opening somewhere. 3 players cannot cover everything on Nuke, so they have to play together and they have to play off the T side rotations. And Electronic and Simple do a great job of just falling off and working with this, taking Device out on the ramp with no clue that they're there, making it an advantageous 2v2 situation where Glaive's already low. They already have the post plant situation on the B site, in the lower, and the retake just can't come in because the positions and whatnot are just too strong for Na'Vi at that point. So Na'Vi actually go ahead and start losing a string of rounds. From going full row up, they're actually 5-4 down at this point. And they go for a bit of a faster play just now towards the ramp area. Again, this is a round where the interesting rotations come into play. Perfecto, he goes towards inner, which is usual default position. Actually, you're going to go fast towards ramp. He's actually blind as hell, though. And you can see that this is not the best example of the map. You can see that Bobski and Machiska are actually also pushing towards ramp as well. They're also going for some aggressive positioning. But even though Perfecto is blind as hell, we have the cavalry coming in, the best of the best. And Simple's going to come in and help clean up. Perfecto actually helps in as well. And the ramp is initially completely open, but Device actually on the fast rotation from Heaven is his usual position. This is what's so powerful about playing the AWPer towards this Heaven CT area, because you can cover a lot of the map, and Device is there fast as hell to cover this. And we can see here some util does actually come in to push him off of this position and deny that information from Astralis. So they have completely lost this ramp control. We've got Perfecto in here patrolling to see if he comes back. A flash come in for good measure. But at the same time, Na'Vi are actually playing on these rotations and they're going back towards A. Dupree, in the meantime, has gone down to the B site. Device is covering outside, Glaive on main, and Dupree downstairs. So all 3 of the Astralis players are split up by this ramp control. They don't know where Na'Vi are going, and Na'Vi are going to take full advantage of this. They're not going to go where usually in a pub game you think, okay, we've got ramp control, let's just hit lower, let's hit hell. But they actually walk back towards the A site and go in towards the A site. Unfortunately, Boomich actually drops the Glaive in main. Device is rotated up, a Glaive drops, and Device is left in Heaven by himself. The nade actually takes him out, and it's just Dupree, who we saw before, rotate down to lower. He's just going to be on a safe situation here. Who we got on top? We actually have Simple up top looking for him. I can't remember if he actually finds him or not. Oh my god, he didn't see him. Oh, he has now. There you go. So Dupree drops as well. And at this point, Astralis have actually, after 5 rounds in a row, got a lot of bang in the or what am I talking about? Have a lot of money in the bag. So it doesn't matter too much that Dupree dies. They have money to buy. Incredibly powerful round there, and trades for Na'Vi side. It also actually looks like someone's timed out, interestingly enough. So I don't know if that was at the start of the round or whatnot. It's Flamey gone, so interesting they still won that. I don't know what happened there, but yeah. Okay, so next round, 5-5 at this point, round 11 in this T-side half for Na'Vi. Again, we're going to see another interesting play coming out from Na'Vi in a game where most teams are always going for these sort of outside smoke lurks and everything like that. Obviously, there's the smokes to cover towards this sort of L block, not really like, you know, like covering across there, or the classics cross to secret smokes. The cross to red smoke just here. Na'Vi tend to go for these explosive contact plays and really use Boomich to go off these weird timings and these weird flashbangs and util. We're going to see that again on towards the A site. And it's definitely a switch up and a meta switch up from Na'Vi, where, as I said, all teams go for these lurk smokes and it's outside control. And Na'Vi are definitely going against the grain in this situation, and trying to be what's the word? And trying to be unpredictable. That's the one. They're trying to be unpredictable in this game just here. Okay, so let's actually take a look at what they're doing. So they actually do throw these outside smokes, like most teams do, but they're not going to use them at all. They're just denying information. Boomich coming towards Squeaky once again, throwing some util. The lurk smoke out towards the vent. And Astralis aren't actually playing anyone hot, so they don't know if anyone's out here just yet. But we have Electronic actually setting up some flashes just here for Boomich. And he actually pushes through the smoke. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the best timings on this one. But his teammates are going to come in and find these trades. Flamey with the first one on the back vent. Simple another one. Glaive through the smoke. And this contact play has come in. The bomb's going down. It's a 2v2 simple planting. And they have controlled the A site. Unfortunately, this is a case where Flamey actually gets dropped, I believe. Yeah, the Molotov comes in and Device takes him out. And I don't believe Simple picks up the 1v2. But it's an incredible play from Na'Vi to pick up this round, or to get onto this A site. Really interesting contact play that the most teams don't really utilize all that much on Nuke, especially. So we can see the outside smokes still have come in halfway through the round for Na'Vi. There is actually a gap here that Glaive can peer through if we take a look. So one of the smokes has actually failed, but you can see the intent or the worry from Astralis that they are going outside. But none of the Na'Vi players are actually outside. They're all focused towards this A site at this point. You can see the pressure these smokes do actually come up with just because they're there. Na'Vi are trying to deny the information from the CTs that they could be lurking outside. They could be coming close main and wrapping around the hill. They could be going towards the garage. But the A play is all going to come in from Na'Vi, and this is the kind of contact plays that Na'Vi have been playing all this half, sort of either towards ramp, just popping in, or towards this A site. And they seem to love these explosive plays, and it unfortunately, as we saw, it doesn't pan out. The 2v2 retake is good for Astralis, but it's a great job getting onto the site for Na'Vi in the first place, and a cool little play. Unfortunately, if Boomich had a better timing or whatnot, they would have been in a very good position if he found that entry. But he does find the information needed to make those trades, and Flamey and Simple do a good job in making that work as far as it did. Okay, so another couple of rounds lost for Na'Vi. Lost for Na'Vi. 7-5 half so far. Only 3 rounds left in that half. Let's see what Na'Vi can do about it. Really late buy from them here, actually, with only a few seconds to spare. They're going to go for the usual outside smokes, as we said. We're just going to put some pressure outside, try and deny that information to the CT side. Electronic trying to put some pressure outside. In the meantime, we have Simple and Perfecto in this trophy area, waiting this smoke out. And it's actually going to be the case where they're going to go for another contact play, but this time it's going to be towards ramp this time. So we know that it's a usual thing for the teams to only play one on ramp unless it's a special occasion and a sort of read is coming in. But Bubsky's the ramp player on Astralis. Often Device will rotate in and help him towards this area, but that's the key towards Electronic here. And these smokes, he's trying to take some attention away towards this outside area, put some pressure on so that the rotations don't come in so easily. If you just have no pressure outside, they know on the Astralis side that the most likely thing is there's going to be an A hit or a ramp hit. Without this outside control, there's not a lot of options here for the T side. So holding this rotation from device and actually glazed outside as well again by this blue box is kind of a key here, and it leaves Bubsky all on his own. And with Perfecto and Simple both walking here for this contact play, Bubsky drops. I believe Perfecto will throw some util down. I missed it, but there's a molly. You can see there holding device off. He's not quick enough to find any sort of trades, and hit comes in fast towards downstairs. We actually have Dupree already rotated down, interestingly enough, towards this area, but he actually only finds one frag in this instance. Simple gets tagged, he finds one, but Simple trades him out. The site is open for business. In the meantime, Glaive is dropped by Perfecto in the double doors area just here as he tries to rotate in. The retake is actually going to try and come in for Astralis here because they have so much money they can buy in the next round anyway. There's only a few rounds left in the half, so they're going to go for it. May as well. 2v3, but a couple of players are a little bit low. They're going to see what they can do. Flamey here, he's going to be holding off the single door. Actually finds Majesty, tries to push in, and Perfecto finds Device. So again, we can see how powerful these sort of rotations and holding pressure towards certain points of this map is so important. So as we were saying, we have Electronic out here. He's not even pushing or doing anything. He's just throwing all of his util, dumping it towards this area. They threw a couple of smokes out here, again, to deny these lines of sight, make sure Device doesn't have too much sort of long range info towards how many people there are and whatnot. And Electronic is throwing some flashes and everything like that, and the rotation of Device just doesn't come in until it's too late. With the mollies here, they're flashing towards this area, and Bobsky dying on the ramp position just allows Navi to just come in and flood towards that was nearly a penis just there, flood towards this B bomb site. And although Dupree's here on the site, he only finds 1 for 1, and that is not going to be enough in this situation when Navi are already up a man, and the post plant situation is going to be in Navi's favor for definite, unless they really mess up, but they didn't. Okay, so the next round, round 14, we're actually going to see a different look from Navi again. So we've been seeing a lot of contact plays towards the inside positions, but these smokes are actually going to come out as usual for the T side to deny information from the CTs. But we're actually, interesting enough, both teams have decided that they want to pressure this outside area, and we have both Device and Glaive throwing this cross smoke of their own. We look at Glaive, this is the usual cross smoke for the CT side to play close outside, and Simple and Electronic read it really well. Simple is holding for this red push and finds Device just here. Unfortunately, Electronic, he makes a lot of noise crossing outside. He's like, oh cool, Device is down. But Glaive is actually close outside as well and finds him. Simple here to trade, trying to look for him. Unfortunately, drops off the box at the wrong time and takes him out. Thankfully, we have another player out here to trade out. So 3v3 situation. Flamey makes it a 2v3 on the inside position on Dupree. And he actually spots the barrel of Bubsky on the ramp area. So Bubsky's pushed up. Unfortunately, Flamey whiffs and gets dropped. At the same time, Perfecto, it gets dropped as well. So great job from Bubsky to bring it back, and it's left the Boomich to clutch this round up. On the sound cue, he hears Bubsky pushing back towards the ramp area, and he takes advantage of this. He knows that he's most likely not going to be in these close positions and potentially rotating elsewhere, and he pushes off this. A little jiggle peek to see if anyone's towards hell. No one is, and again, these rotations are what makes this map so interesting. Magisk is aware that this could be a possibility, but he actually loses out on the fight. He's not quite ready for Boomich to be there. And Boomich plays this so well. He knows that Bubsky was towards the ramp area. He's just cleared out the ramp area. So he knows most likely that Bubsky went down the ramp to hold the B position. This is probably because Boomich was towards the outside area and he could have gone down secret. So the threat was that Boomich should go quick and plant the bomb B. But Boomich is now towards upper, and Bubsky wants to come at this ladder, but he knows that Boomich could be there. Boomich plants in a very... At this point, Boomich knows he's downstairs. And you can see that plant, he's watching the vent as he plants, because he knows that that's the most likely rotation going to happen. Bubsky's actually unsure whether it's downstairs or upstairs. He finally figures out it's upstairs, but Boomich has all the information, hears them running around, and just shoots him right in the back. Cold-blooded killer. Saves the AWP. Great round from Boomich. Great clutch. Completely outsmarting Bubsky there and the Astralis side. Okay, so the last round of the half just here. So after putting a lot of pressure towards the sort of contact plays towards inner and ramp, for a second round of the row, we're actually going to see a fast play outside from Na'Vi. We did see Boomich do this in the second round actually, against the eco, but he's just going to buy Mat 10 and drop towards main fast and towards the blue box. Unfortunately, gets caught out by Glaive. Great positioning from Glaive to find him. Simple here. Finds a 6-shot as usual to trade him out though. And we have, unlike all of the rest of the rounds, we have Na'Vi completely dominating this outside position. They found Glaive. They know that the device is going to be out here somewhere as well. Look at all these smokes, man. What the hell? And Na'Vi, I believe, we do actually have Flamey all the way in this T position watching this outside flank. You don't see this very often, a player all the way back here. The Na'Vi are just going to lurk in this outside position for quite a long time. They're just waiting for Astralis to go for some information plays. Simple showing his presence still. Perfecto in the garage and Electronic holding downstairs. Interestingly, Perfecto isn't too worried about his back just here. Okay, maybe he is. But yeah, Na'Vi are just weighing this out and playing this time, seeing if Astralis make any sort of rotations or information plays towards the T-spawn. Perfecto with some flashes and whatnot. This allows Simple to peek towards the locker area. And again, they're just waiting for an opportunity, waiting for a mistake from Astralis, trying to find another pick in this 4v4 situation. So as Na'Vi actually start lurking outside, we actually have Device holding this cross down towards main. And this is a lot of information. He's vulnerable to people creeping up underneath him and whatnot, but it allows the rest of Astralis to control the rest of the map, not worry too much about outside. Unfortunately, an uncharacteristic miss on him just here. And he gets run down by Perfecto and Electronic. He actually trades out Electronic on his last dying breath with that nade. We can see the clock here though. This is a lot of pressure for Na'Vi to try and find this entry into the site. Unfortunately, Simple's here. He finds a couple of shots. And Dupree, Mag 7 on the site, unfortunately, is not going to pan out. And they win the round. So we can see this is a completely different look for Na'Vi on this round. As we said, we just have Flamey lurking and holding off any informational, we'll run with that, informational pushes towards the T-spawn. Since they know they've lost this outside control area, we still have Device looking towards this long-range cross towards the main area. And Bubsky is actually downstairs, although you can't really see in this map. He is actually downstairs watching the secret push. So Astralis do have the right idea, the right control and information, and they have a lot of Na'Vi trapped into this corner of the map. But Na'Vi's patience and actually this all hinge on Device's mistake just here, missing Electronic unfortunately, as they try to cross out towards outside, and the pressure's too much, and although he trades, that's just too much map control lost. And with the time left, it has to be towards main for Na'Vi. With the lack of weaponry and whatnot, it's just going to be Na'Vi's round all day, especially with Bubsy trying to rotate up this vent again with an AWP for the second round in a row. It's just not going to pan out. And Dupree left alone with the Mag 7 at the end of the round. It's just too much for Astralis to handle, and Na'Vi win the half 8-7 against the former best Nuke team in the world. Has Na'Vi taken that crown? I don't know. Potentially, there's a lot of teams that now play Nuke, but they're definitely putting on a show for us. So we can see how convincingly Na'Vi have pressured all the parts of the map on Nuke's T side, and really outsmarted Astralis here. Obviously, Simple popping off, as we said, and winning the series in the next map as well to win the Blast Global Final. Incredible stuff from the team. It is unbelievable how well Simple performed in these last couple of matches against Vitality as well. If we look at some statistics from him, if we go to matches, and you see, look at these ratings against the top two teams. These are better ratings than he averaged over last year. He averaged about 1.3, and he averaged way higher against the top two teams in the world. It's insane. Incredible showing from Simple, and Boomich popping up as well. And like, look at this, 1.4 rating in 2021. If he keeps that up, that's just insane. I doubt he will. It's obviously very likely that he's that high level towards the end of the entire year, but we'll see. I think for me, Simple is the best player in the world because he's the one that actually finds success for his team, and Zywoo and Vice haven't quite got that explosive nature. They're both incredibly good players, but Simple just has, it's just a cut above the rest in my opinion, but that's up to me, I guess. But another great start for Na'Vi on at the start of the year. Obviously last year they won Katowice at the start of the year, or however you say it, and that's when they became the #1 team towards the start of last year. We'll see if they can continue this form throughout this year though. I mean, obviously they were always knocking on the door throughout last year, but let's see if they can bring that to the next level and find some consistency. Boomich does need to find, I think it is Boomich that needs to find the consistency, because we have Electronic and Simple always popping off. Perfecto's doing his job for sure. He finds some entries, he makes some space for the team. Flamey, he also needs to be a much better consistent player. And we have Bit coming in on Inferno at the moment. He's started to have a better performance for Na'Vi. But it's exciting to see what Na'Vi can do for the rest of the year, especially if they destroyed Vitality and Astralis at the last one. But we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, like the video, comment, tell me what I should do next, and I'll see you in the next one.